No, I'm not doing that.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am D-WIZZLE. So if you guys have been following up with my channel, we just talked about the first Coming to America, getting ready to talk about this film. So if you guys haven't checked out our review for the first Coming to America, leave a link in the description below so you guys can watch it. But today we'll be talking about part 2, Coming number 2 America, because that's how they wanted to market this movie, with the 2 in the middle. I don't know why they put numbers in titles. They think that's clever, but it's not. Take 3 in? No. Script Fortin? No. Stop doing this, Hollywood. Stop it. Two-lander? Like, no. But anyway, we'll be talking about Coming to America Part 2. This film was released on Amazon. So it's an Amazon exclusive movie. Came out this past weekend. I really enjoyed the first Coming to America. I thought it was a pretty good fantasy black comedy. I'm glad I saw it. I liked Eddie Murphy in the movie and Arsenio Hall and everyone in that. I thought it was pretty good. When it came to this one, I didn't have a lot of expectations about it, really. Part of me was thinking, why are you waiting so long to do a sequel? Though at the same time, this is what Hollywood likes to do. They like to grab at your nostalgia and revitalize properties that came out 20, 30 years ago, hoping people will watch it. So with this one, I was hoping for the best. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be great, but just be consistent with the first film. Though with having a 30-year gap and a lot's changed in movies and society, I'm sure we're going to get them trying to be current and get with the times or whatever. So hopefully there's not too many eye-rolling inducing stuff in this movie. So we all watched it together, and overall it was fine. It was fine. Yeah, it's not as good as the first movie. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It just overall this didn't feel as funny as the first movie. Like the first movie, I found myself laughing at a lot of stuff, but this one there was only like a couple of times where I chuckled. So I just felt like the writing was kind of flat in this one. The characters, there's some that are really good when it comes to the new additions to the cast. Like half of them are really good, and half of them I'm like, what is this? So it's like, I don't know. And then the story was just weak in my opinion. Like, I've seen this before, like in other movies. Well, I'll get into detail in a minute, but it's like overall, I mean, it's not a horrible sequel, but I was watching this being like, I mean, okay, it's a thing, it exists, but I feel like this wasn't really necessary. What did you think about Coming number 2 America?
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Why?
It's just so forceful with his pop culture references and stuff. Got woke, that almost killed me. How they mentioned how movies currently are in Hollywood, remakes of stuff and sequels years later that nobody really asked for. And by the way, just because you point out stuff you're doing doesn't make you above them. So stop doing that.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna do that, actually be a good movie, But yeah, go ahead and continue.
That's pretty much all I had to say.
He was not having a good time watching this too. Like, he was mad. I mean, I know he didn't love the first movie, so didn't have much expectations for this, but like him watching this, he was just like, oh my god, the whole time. So he's being modest, but yeah. Anyway, Mother Osada, what did you think about Coming number 2 America?
I think it was a good way to pass some time by.
That's a good start. That's a good thing to pass the time with.
And it wasn't horrible to me. I think, a few scenes they were reaching too much, like during the funeral for the king, and bringing out In Vogue and Salt and Pepper and all of them.
Morgan Freeman.
And Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight. I think they was doing too much. I'm not trying to take away from them earning money by being in this movie. I'm happy they all got a check. However, I just felt like it wasn't necessary. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was cool. I like seeing seeing how everybody held themselves up physically 30 years later, how they looked versus, the first one. That was very interesting. Not sure if I cared for the storyline. I don't care. It was alright.
Yeah. One thing I'm glad they got most of the cast from the first movie to come back to this one, so this one I'm happy about. Eddie Murphy came back, obviously. Arsenio came back. Shari Headley came back, James Earl Jones, all them. So glad they were able to return for this movie. And yeah, it is really interesting to see how much they aged from the first film. It's like they actually aged really well, so they keep themselves healthy. So happy about that, especially Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy doesn't really age. Goodness. And Arsenio.
Some surgery and some fillers, I'm sure. But
They gained some little weight. They gained some weight.
Yeah,
but,
I see a little tummy on him a little
Yeah.
bit.
he's earned the right to have a little tummy. But also I feel like, because I don't think he has a tummy in real life, I just think that they thought maybe that was appropriate for the king, being that he was an older man at that point. So, but I think that Leslie Jones, them bringing her to this movie and giving her a role, because I wasn't sure if she was in the first one or not, being that she was the mother of his bastard child. But then they, I obviously, realized that she wasn't in the first. But I feel like them bringing her to the storyline was a good addition, even though, she was over the top in her sets. But I think it made it more interesting.
That's one of the things I was
funny. Let me say that.
That was one of the things I was upset about. They're retconning something from the first movie, so while Akeem and Semi was talking to girls at clubs, he just so happened to run into Leslie Jones' character, and then they went and had
drug rape.
She drugged him and raped him practically.
Well, I don't think she meant to drug him. It's just like an accident, I think.
It seemed pretty purposeful to me, but I guess she didn't know how potent it was, and she didn't even remember it. So it's like it's just horrible. First of all, why? This is the type of stuff I don't like in movies, when they crowbar in development that wasn't there in the first movie, and they try to make it make sense, but it doesn't. That's retconning. So it's like it just feels really. To me, it feels a bit distasteful how they tried to incorporate the bastard son in this movie. So it's I don't know. I just didn't feel right about it. Leslie Jones, she's another one of those comedic actresses that are hit or miss for me. I do like some of her stuff on Saturday Night Live, but when it comes to her acting, it's you guys remember Ghostbusters 2016? Didn't feel her in that.
Mm-mm.
I did not.
I mean, she does have some funny lines that I've seen, like the painter on the ghost logo on the subway. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I wasn't really excited for her in this movie. And then, let's talk about the bastard son of this.
Can I say that?
Huh?
The bastard son?
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay.
Lavelle, played by Jermaine Fowler. Nope, didn't like him. Nope. He got better halfway through the movie, but the first half, I'm like, what is this? Who is this guy? He wasn't really that likable. I don't know. You know what this reminds me of? This feels like a weird amalgamation of Black Panther and the new Shaft movie that came out a couple years ago, directed by Tim Story. It's the same story with that, because they even give him the Killmonger braids. I'm like, okay, and the similar wardrobe with Killmonger. I'm like, really? We're gonna be on the nose with that? But in the new Shaft movie, Shaft has an illegitimate son, and then he's trying to rekindle a relationship there with Samuel Jackson. And it's like we're doing the same storyline again. Like, why? Like, I don't know. And then again, we have the whole it's a similar fish out of water story with him, like going to Africa and trying to learn the cultures or whatever, and he's too hip for it, so he's doing his old ghetto tendencies to him, and it's not really funny, and it's like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it. And he doesn't even look like Eddie Murphy.
No, he doesn't.
Nobody's gonna look like Eddie Murphy, being that they're not blood, they're actors.
That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
It's not.
No, because like with certain actors playing father and son roles, they would try harder to have some sort of resemblance with one another. These look like cousins. like no. And first of all, I know this is a nitpick thing, but it's really not. How is he more light-skinned than Leslie Jones and Eddie Murphy?
It's called genetics. Sometimes
maybe the
you
light
can
skin.
reach back into generations and pull forth some things. Hey, black people, we can make all shades of the rainbow. Well, maybe not a rainbow, but we can make all the shades of human beings. So that's not far-fetched.
I guess it's just like he doesn't, even though he's the bastard son and it's like, not the actual biological child of both Akeem and Lisa, it's just like, I don't know, he just didn't look anything like him. There's no like tendencies, there's no, that's the stuff I look for, I'm detail oriented when it comes to that. There's no mannerisms, there's no features, there's no cadence that's similar to him.
Nitpick.
But I'm just saying, it's like, it's a similar issue that I had with the Shaft movie too, because Samuel Jackson's son doesn't look like him.
Well, what about the daughters?
The daughters? Okay, oh my God, thank you for bringing that up, because that's even more like, one is really dark-skinned, and one's really light-skinned, and one's in the middle, which, okay, that's more plausible because Akeem is dark-skinned and Lisa's light-skinned, so I guess you could have that mixture here and there. But like, I'm kind of questioning the really dark-skinned daughter. Like, how'd you get a really that strong a melanin with her? There should be like a balance, And then with the two other daughters, like the really light-skinned girl, she shouldn't be that light-skinned.
But that's his real daughter.
Oh.
And her mother is not white.
Okay, that makes sense. But like, Lisa's light-skinned, light-skinned black girl. So it's like, I don't know.
She's a light-skinned black girl.
I know, but she's lighter than her mother.
Not in real life.
I know, but we're talking about in the context of the movie.
They look like they were the same shade. Remember, women wear makeup.
Okay, yeah, but it's like, still, you can see the complexion of their skin good enough.
No, they're not supposed to. This is not a sewing shop where you gotta match the fabric swatches. These are actors.
What?
And you get, well, you know how you match your clothes.
Yeah, I get it, but talented actor, actually.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to just look for those who are who have the same kind of features as the starring roles. They don't have to be that exact in order to get the role. That's all I'm saying. We all understand that this is entertainment and they can do the best they can do and people will still buy into the storyline. Okay, well there's the problem right there. I'm not invested enough in the storyline, so that's why I feel like I'm noticing this more. Like sorry, I'm forgetting his name. If Lavelle was a better character, I probably wouldn't care as much. But the fact that I don't care about him that much, and you don't look anything like Leslie Jones or Eddie Murphy, that's just sticking out to me. You have to put a little bit more effort in aesthetics so it can help with our suspension of disbelief. I know they're actors, but you have to make us believe that, that these are the actual characters that you're playing, that this is the actual family that you're telling us that they are. They don't have to make you believe it. Like
That's the point of entertainment, because like that's how you get immersed in the movie, because you believe the world.
Use your imagination.
I shouldn't have to use my imagination.
That's what all of this is about, the world of make-believe, where you use your imagination. So I think you're nitpicking on that. Now, if it were up to you, what kind of storyline could it have, being that the only thing that Hakeem has ever done is become an adult and go to America, find his wife, and go back home?
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. Cut out that bastard son stuff and focus on the 3 daughters. Because 2 of the daughters barely get any development in this movie, and the one dark-skinned daughter is taking a back seat to this bastard son, she's more interesting than him. So that's what I would do. Cut out this bastard son nonsense. The only reason they have this is so they can have a reason for them to go back to America.
Yeah, and so could there be another way to get back to America?
I can't think of one right now.
Sure, how about Lisa meeting back with her relatives or something after 30 years or something?
Her daddy lives there in Africa with her.
What about her extended family?
Her sister. Is her sister there?
No, her sister.
No. So what's up with the sister? Like something like that, or have a conflict with Wesley Snipes' character, which we will get to him in a minute. But it's like have some sort of conflict where he has to go to America for something. You know, you don't need to have this son nonsense. Like it just felt like nonsense to me. Like if you just focus on the 3 daughters, if they're the main thing, like I think it would have been really good. It would have been really interesting because I like the daughters. You know, especially the oldest one. That's really interesting.
I actually thought there's gonna be like a twist in the movie, like when find out like the bastard son wasn't really Eddie Murphy's son. That would have been like really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting twist, but nope. They're like, nope. This is actually your son. Like that actually would have. I actually would have accepted the fact that he doesn't look like either of them and been like, yeah, that's not really your son. That would have been more drama, conflict. That would have been cool. But no, they're just sticking with this. So
and if he would have got Wesley Snipes, no, Tiana Taylor's pregnant. If he would have got her pregnant before they got married,
hey.
and then found out that he wasn't even a prince.
Hey,
That would have caused a lot of commotion. Right?
It's a Killmonger thing again. So that's the thing. So much more interesting directions they could have went with. But let's talk about what they decided to go with. So yeah, talking about the daughters, the oldest daughter, I thought she was interesting. She's trying to become, ruler of the kingdom, whatever. But of course, they have the rule that women don't normally rule kingdoms. It's normally the males and the brothers, whatever. So I like that, Akeem is dealing with conflict with that with his daughter, and she's trying to make him understand that she's more than capable of ruling a kingdom, whatever. She's been training her most of her life so far, so thought that was cool. 2 other daughters, not much to say.
Mm-mm.
I mean, pretty girls, but that's
pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. I mean, they can fight too. They have couple of fight scenes here and there.
Wait, that was the fight scene?
Yeah, with the staffs, Oh yeah, he fell asleep toward the end. By the way, that's how disinterested he was. But yeah. So, I mean, they were interesting, but I wish they had more to do. I was talking about Wesley Snipes' character. I thought he was hilarious. I really liked him in this movie, but he didn't feel necessary to the plot either. Like, we didn't really need an antagonist, but
That's what I said.
If you're gonna have him in there, give him something more interesting to do, and he doesn't. I mean, there's the whole thing of he's trying to have Akeem's son try to marry his daughter. So okay, played by Tiana. That was interesting. But yeah, there could have been more development with that. She didn't even have much to do. She's pretty much just playing that princess in the first movie that did whatever Akeem wanted.
There was a little bit more to her, but yeah, she played the submissive role. I've been raised to be a servant or to be a wife of a king, so
how cool it would have been if she, retaliated against that. Like she got mad over that, and then there could be a whole like evil plot with her and her dad. Wesley Snipes' character. Like that would have been a cool subvertive expectations from the first movie. With her getting irritated, like I'm not just gonna be treated like garbage, and and you're not gonna give me the attention, and you want to go with this assistant chick that works at your palace thing. So that would have been cool.
Or maybe the best person actually got to her and made her like find the things that she was actually interested in and build that romance up.
Yeah, that would have been good too. But yeah, I don't know. I did like Wesley's performance in this movie. Like I don't normally see his comedic side when it comes to his acting, but in this movie I thought he was pretty funny. I like the walk he does every time he comes into a room. I was like, why are you walking like that? Like it's funny. And then Michael Blackson and Rick Ross is his assistants. So I was like, okay, getting some big names for this movie. That's cool.
He's pointless, but at least
it's pointless cameo. Like literally there for a few seconds and you're out. But I mean, I guess it kind of fits with the tone of these movies. I guess.
Everybody get checked.
Everybody gets checked. Even Morgan Freeman, just doing a speech for James Earl Jones' funeral and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And then Gladys Knight and everyone else. So, yeah. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do the glorified cameos in this film, sure. But yeah, and then the whole thing with them going back to America.
It was really short.
It was really short, and it felt forced. Other than getting Lavelle to come to Africa, and then unnecessarily Lavelle and his new lover going back to America to get married, only for Akeem to go back and be like, I'll accept you for who you are, and then we're gonna go back to Africa again. I'm like, what in the world?
What was the point of that?
I don't know, because the movie's called Coming Number 2 America. We need to go to America.
Twice. Short bursts. Two.
Oh, funny. But I was like, I don't know. I didn't. I would have been fine if the whole movie took place in Africa. Like, I know the movie's called Coming to America, so it'll feel kind of weird, but it's
maybe they changed the title. They could be changed.
Coming to Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lavelle is coming to Africa. Like.
That's actually really clever.
Yeah, like something like that. That would have been cool. Or, instead of Coming Number 2 America, it could have been called Back to America. So it won't be as confusing. But whatever. I'm not the marketing team. You guys should hire me. But we see the barber guys again.
They weren't as funny as the original.
It's not as funny as the original.
They're annoying, actually.
Yeah, they're there to give some exposition and a couple of jokes here and there.
They're out. They leave.
And then they leave. Yeah. I'll say their makeup is a lot better than it was in the first movie. And that's what I expect because it's 30 years after the first film. So I'm hoping the makeup is better. But yeah, the makeup looks a lot more convincing.
I actually don't want them in the movie. I just want them to die because they should have been dead. It's been 30 years.
Okay. So keep sexual chocolate and keep
sexual cock in
the preacher.
Yeah, the sexless preacher.
Sop him up with a biscuit. Like those two are hilarious, and they make an appearance at the end of the movie. Which I guess that's cool. I guess, but I wish they were in it a little bit more. Yeah. So the whole conflict with Wesley Snipes was kind of unnecessary. They needed some sort of a climax with the sisters and whatever. So that was okay, and it felt like it ended really abruptly. So the sister just make a deal with Wesley to make an agreement with their land. Or
what?
Whatever. Yeah, they just come to terms because the sister, I don't know, they do stuff off screen.
We don't question what happens off screen.
No question what happens off screen. Anything can happen off screen.
Anything happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you have that stupid thing of Akeem trying to get whiskers from a lion because this is one of his tests to become a king. Like. Okay, I mean, granted, we don't see Akeem do this stuff in the first movie because it's literally after he does all this stuff, we assume, and he's just turned 21, so he does all the stuff. Sure, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's like 30 though. He's older than Akeem was in the first movie.
But you got to do the test regardless, you know, no matter how old you are. I mean, I did like that Lavelle and the oldest sister, they worked together. They started, because at first they didn't like each other, and then they started to warm up with each other. So I kind of like that growth, and the whole romance with Lavelle and the
Groomer.
the groomer,
The royal groomer.
royal groomer. I kind of like that. That was kind of cute. I wish that was developed a little bit more. It just comes out of nowhere, but you know. I mean, they develop it enough towards the end when he's like, it's a similar thing with Akeem in the first movie being like he wants to marry for love, you know? So, kind of like that.
Oh, I just remembered something. The last trial is where they pretend to cut off the tip of his penis, right?
Oh, God.
And they put it in his mouth. But it wasn't actually his penis, though.
Yeah, because it's PG-13. This movie's PG-13. So
They should have made it R.
And then Akeem, is that that old guy? Is that who was played by Arsenio as well?
Is that Semi's aunt or something?
Or
Shaman.
The
He's
shaman.
a shaman, so that means he could. It's like he has psychic powers. He's like you go to him for guidance because he can see into your energy and project the future. So it's a shaman.
Where was the shaman in the first movie?
Maybe that was
That was not necessary in the first movie. Wasn't necessary.
I guess not. But,
no.
huh?
No.
I mean, I think, though, to think about if they had the shaman in the first movie, maybe he could have helped Akeem give him guidance about, you know, his journey or his path he wants to do in life. Like, I mean, I don't care if they, you know, they created him for this second movie. I don't really care that much, but it just seems kind of odd that this shaman comes out of nowhere and he wasn't in the first movie.
It's been 30 years.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's only there to...
Yeah, it seemed like he's been there for a long time, so it's like...
Yeah, he's like really old, too. And he's only there to tell Akeem that he has a son, and then he didn't disappear, but he's
there here and there, whatever, so...
But I feel like his only purpose was to give, you know, a reason to come back to America.
That's because you went to sleep. That's why.
No, I saw that part.
The rest of it.
Or whatever.
I think he saw most of it.
The important parts.
The important parts.
How do you know?
Because the climate doesn't matter. As long as you get the gist of the story.
Yeah, I guess. I did like Arsenio's performance as the what was it again? The shaman. Yeah, I did like his performance as another one of those roles where I'm like, okay, I could actually see you as a different person. So yeah, I need to give Arsenio more of a watch. You know, I mean, I do watch his talk show or whatever sometimes, so I thought he's funny in that. But I should look up some more of his stuff. I do like Arsenio. But yeah, talking about real quick about the chemistry with Arsenio and Eddie Murphy. That's another thing that bothered me. I didn't feel like there was enough with Arsenio and Eddie, you know, because that was one of the things I loved about the first movie. So I wish there was more development with that, but it's just Arsenio and Eddie reacting to stuff going on, and it's not, you don't really see their banter back and forth that much as the first movie. So that's another thing we couldn't really fall back on. But
and Arsenio didn't have a woman.
No, and that's one of the things I said. Give Arsenio a woman.
Well, his sister. I thought her and what's her face?
No, that was a fake out.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah. Overall, yeah, it's not as good as the first movie. It's kind of a disappointment. I don't feel the need to watch it really again. I mean, I'll give it another chance, but it's like I don't feel this is as enjoyable as the first movie. It's not as funny as the first film. I thought the story is contrived. Then some of the new characters they introduced, some of them are really good, but some of them are really bad.
Which ones?
The good ones are the sisters, and the bad ones are Lavelle and Leslie Jones. I mean, she gets better. Once again, they get better the second half of the movie, but not enough to be like, I want to see you again, you know, like, and they take up more of the screen time than the good characters, and that's what really frustrates me. There's so much you could have done with the sisters, but that they didn't do it. And then Wesley Snipes, I thought was really funny, but they don't give him enough to do. Same with Tiana, didn't give him much to do, but like I thought they were funny. I liked what they were doing with the few scenes they were in. But yeah, I just felt like this was a forced sequel that they just had to make 30 years later to grab on our nostalgia. But
I want to hear what Colin thinks as far as good characters versus unnecessary characters.
Before we get to that, I will give Coming Number 2 America a C+. Yeah, okay. It's not a I don't hate it, but it's just I don't like it that much. It's passable.
Not even that.
No, yeah, I don't know about that, but it's there.
It's there if you're bored.
If you want to see these characters again, yeah, I guess watch it.
Make some background noise.
That's horrible.
Wait, what would you want to know from him? Like, what do he think good and bad characters are?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care as long as they have like a good motivation and personality and not hateable. They're fine.
Simple enough.
I want to say that I love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he's great.
I like Wesley Snipes in just movies, period.
Mm-hmm.
I love him in Blade. I love him in... There's another...
New Jack City.
Definitely New Jack City. But there
Jungle
was
Fever.
Another movie with him is Sanaa Lathan. I can't remember what that was called. But that made me fall in love with Wesley to watch anything that he does. But so if you guys are thinking about Coming to America 3, then make sure you put Wesley in there in a larger role, and Tatiana too. Is that her name? No.
Yeah.
Tanea. No.
I think I said her name I think I said her name wrong the whole review. But what was it like? Tonight.
TT. Make sure that TT is in the next movie too. If there is a next one,
I don't want to be in that one.
Don't make just write a whole new script. You know who's on this one? The one who does Blackish and Grownish.
That explains the tone.
Blackish and he created Blackish and Grownish.
Screenplay Kenya Barris.
Yeah, Kenya.
Okay. Oh, the writer. Okay. There's 3 writers in this movie, and one of my rules is if there's more than 2 writers in the film, something might not be right. So.
They had to write it 5 different.
And if they have to write it 5 different times, oof. Like, how is it so hard to do a Coming to America movie? Like, it should be rather simple to write a Coming to America movie.
Because it's another sequel that nobody asked for, so they had to make it, not suck, but it sucked, so they failed.
You know, to worry so much about being current and woke and with the times, like... Anyway, grades, guys.
What, F-.
Oh,
Damn! It's not a
Okay, I'm just joking, Jesus.
minus.
A D-.
what?
D+.
Wow. D+.
D+, that's the highest I can go. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, he doesn't like the movie, so like, I get it. What you?
I think it might be a C+.
Okay. All right. That's our thoughts on Coming Number 2 America. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below and let us know. If you guys enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to be updated on future videos I'll be doing. Please hit that bell. And that's all we have for you guys today, and we will see you guys in the next review. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.